There's a good chance you've already done this today, and there's an equally good chance you had no idea it was one of the most powerful things you could do for your baby's brain. I'm talking about something so simple it almost feels too simple. Talking. Just talking to your baby. Not in any special way. Not with flashcards or a curriculum or a specific technique you have to learn. Just narrating your day. Out loud. To a baby who cannot respond. I know how it sounds. But stick with me here, because what happens inside your baby's brain when you do this, it genuinely stopped me in my tracks the first time I read about it. Once you understand it, you'll probably start doing it a lot more. Here's where this all starts. In the 1990s, two researchers named Betty Hart and Todd Risley followed 42 families for 2.5 years. They recorded everything. Every conversation. Every word spoken near a child. Every interaction between parent and baby. And when they analyzed the data, they found something that changed the field of child development forever. By age 3, some children had heard 30 million more words than others. 30 million. And the children who had heard more words were, across the board, better at language, better at reading, had higher IQs, and performed better in school a decade later. The study became known as the 30 million word gap, and it terrified a lot of parents. But here's what I want you to hear clearly. It wasn't about reading every book. It wasn't about structured lessons or educational programs. The difference was made by the ordinary, everyday, totally mundane moments. Okay, we're going to the kitchen now. Look at that, it's raining outside. I'm putting your socks on. This one. Now this one? That's it. That's the habit. Now let's talk about why this actually works. Because it's not magic. There's a very real, very physical process happening inside your baby's brain every time you speak. Your baby is born with about 100 billion neurons, which sounds like a lot, and it is. But neurons alone don't do much. What matters is the connections between them. Those connections, called synapses, are built through experience. And in the first 3 years of life, your baby's brain is forming synapses at a rate of over 1 million per second. Per second. Every sound they hear, every word they process, every back and forth between you and them, it all goes directly into wiring those connections. So when you talk to your baby while you're making coffee, you're not just filling the silence. You're literally building the architecture of their brain. Now I want to talk about something that doesn't get mentioned enough. Because when parents hear about the word gap study, a lot of them do something I completely understand. They panic. They start counting. They start feeling like every quiet moment is a missed opportunity. And that, actually, is the wrong takeaway. The research isn't saying you have to talk non-stop for 3 years. What it's saying is that warm, responsive, back and forth conversation is what moves the needle. Not quantity alone. Quality of connection matters just as much. There's a huge difference between having the TV on in the background all day, which doesn't count, by the way. Researchers checked, and you looking at your baby, noticing what they're focused on, and saying something about it. That moment of connection. That's what your baby's brain is actually hungry for. So how do you actually build this into your day without it feeling like a performance? Because that's the part nobody really talks about. Here's what works. Pick 3 moments you already do every single day. Just 3. Diaper changes. Bath time. The car. That's enough. During those 3 moments, narrate. Not a lecture. Not a TED Talk. Just say what you see. Oh, we've got a wet one. Let's get you changed. The water's warm. Does that feel good? We're turning left here. There's a big truck. See that? Your baby is watching your face. They're listening to the rhythm of your voice. They're learning that the world has words attached to it. And they're learning that you are someone who explains things to them. That you see them. That you think they're worth talking to. That last part matters more than most people realize. Because language development and emotional development are not separate things. They're the same thing. A baby who feels securely connected to their caregiver learns language faster. Full stop. The safety of that relationship is what allows the brain to open up and absorb. And here's something that always gets me when I think about it. Your baby has never heard your voice anywhere else. Not in a song. Not on TV. Not from anyone else in the world. Your voice is theirs. It's the first voice they learned to recognize inside the womb in the last trimester. Before they were even born, they were already listening for you. So when you talk to them now, you're not talking to a blank slate. You're talking to someone who already knows you, someone who has been waiting for this. One more thing before we wrap up. If you've been mostly quiet around your baby, if talking to someone who doesn't talk back just feels a little too weird, or you're not naturally a big talker, please hear this. It is not too late. The brain is most plastic, most open, most receptive in the early years. But the window doesn't slam shut at 12 months. Starting today matters. Starting tomorrow matters. Even just one extra conversation during bath time tonight matters. You don't have to be perfect at this. You just have to start. Because every single word you say to your baby is a deposit, and you're building something that will pay off for the rest of their life. If you want to keep going deeper into what's actually happening inside your baby's mind, follow this channel. Every week, we break down the science of infant development in a way that's actually useful for real parents living real lives. No guilt trips. No unrealistic expectations. Just honest, research-backed answers to the questions you're already asking. We'll see you in the next one.